Viewers, welcome to my channel. Today we will discuss one of the most important concept in the Java, that is constructors. This constructors concept is playing very crucial role in the Java. Why? Because Java is a object oriented programming language, that is each and everything which is related to the class and object only. And coming to these constructors, these will be coming into the picture at the time of creating the object of the class. Now, in this video, we are going to mainly concentrate on what is the definition of the constructor, what is the syntax that we need to follow at the time of defining the constructor, as well as what are the rules and regulations that we have to follow while at the time of defining the constructors. And coming to the next video, within the next video, we will concentrate on what is the importance of the constructor and as well as what is the real-time uses of the constructors. Okay, now in this video, the main primary focus is upon what is the definition, what is the syntax, and what are the rules and regulations that we have to follow while at the time of defining the constructors. And coming to the constructor, a constructor is nothing but a simple block of code which is as like as a simple method in the Java. There is a little bit similarity in between the methods and the constructor, but at the time of defining the constructors and methods, we have to follow so many rules. That all the rules we will cover here now. And the constructor, especially, it will be coming into the picture at the time of creating the object of the class. Whenever we are going to create the object of the class, at that time it will be coming into the picture. Until or unless we are going to create the object, there is nothing about the constructor. Why? Because the constructor main purpose is at the time of creation of the object of the class, it is trying to perform some operation. That operation, in the sense, it will try to allocate the memory for the objects in the whatever the memory that you want to allocate for the objects, that entire memory will be allocated with the help of constructor concept. So it is a special kind of method which is used to initialize the object. So at the time of creating the object, it will try to allocate some memory for the object. And coming to the next point, for each and every time whenever we are going to create the object with the help of new keyword, so at that time at least one constructor will be coming into the picture. With respect to the new keyword, whenever we are going to create the object of the class, at that time this constructor, at least one constructor will be invoked. If there is no constructor is available in the class, in such case Java compiler will provide the default constructor. For each and every class, by default we have one default constructor is available. That all the things we will see with the help of examples, don't worry. Now with the help of the constructors, the importance of the constructors is it is used to initialize the instance variables that we are going to see in the next video. Now the primary focus in this video is these are all the points. That means a constructor is a simple block of code as like as a method, and it is used to allocate the memory for the object while at the time of creating the object of the class with the help of new keyword. And the main purpose of the constructor is it is used to initialize the instance variables. Now what is the syntax that we need to follow while at the time of defining the constructor? It will be very simple. All of you please observe carefully. So while at the time of defining the constructor, we have to use this syntax. The syntax indication is we can use any one of the access modifier. There are 4 access specifiers are there, like public, private, protected and default. We can use any one of the access modifier in order to provide the accessibility of the constructors, as well as we need to provide the constructor name itself. Whatever the constructor name that you want to provide, that name we need to provide here. Let us take one example. If you are having the test class means, so whatever the test class is available, that the class name we need to take as a constructor. That all the things we are going to observe in the rules. All of you please observe the rules. So if you want to define the constructor, we have to follow these following rules. And coming to the first rule, the constructor name must be same as its class name. Very important rule. If you want to define one constructor means, definitely the constructor name should be as like as class name. But it is quite contradictory with the help of user defined methods. User defined method, for user defined method, it is not required. It is not the requirement of defining the user defined method with the help of class name. But at the time of defining the constructor of the class, definitely the constructor name must be as like as class name. This is the point that you have to keep in your mind. And coming to the next point, a constructor must have no explicit return type. We should not return anything from the constructor. There is no return type that is associating with the constructor. While at the time of defining the constructor, we should not write the return type, as well as we should not return something from the constructor. That point you have to keep in your mind. And coming to the third point, a Java constructor cannot be abstract or static or final or synchronized. These keywords, while at the time of defining the constructors, we should not use these keywords. Why? Because these are also comes under the category of access modifiers, but we should not use these keywords. Why? Because within the syntax of the constructor, here the syntax is we have to provide some access modifier along with the constructor name. Here the constructor name is as like as the class name. Is it okay? Yes, it is okay. Now coming to the access modifier, we are having the flexibility of defining any one of the access modifier, but for the constructor we should not use abstract, static, final and synchronized access modifiers. Apart from them, we can use the access modifiers like, in order to control the object creation, we can provide private, protected, public or default in Java. We can use any one of these access modifier at front of the constructor name. Apart from this 4 access modifiers, access specifiers, we should not use abstract, static, final and synchronized. So these are all the rules that we have to keep in your mind while at the time of defining the constructor. Now let me go through the program so that you will get the complete idea related to the constructor. And in this class, we are not at all concentrating on what is the importance, what is the real-time example of the constructor. That all the things we will discuss in the next class. So in this class, we will the primary concentration is how to define the constructor, what are the things that we have to follow. Now let me go through the program. As per our discussion, if there is no constructor at all in the class, by default, one default constructor will be available. If you are going to observe this class, the class name itself is sample. But unfortunately, there is no constructor concept at all. We did not use any access specifier along with the class name in order to define the constructor. That means within this class, there is no constructor at all. Even though the constructor is not available in this class, by default, for each and every class, one default constructor will be available. Now, how can you check whether the default constructor is available in this class or not? So in order to check it, it will be very simple. So go through the command prompt, try to compile the program. First we have to compile the program. What is the class name? The class name itself is javac sample.java. Try to compile it. And in order to check what are the programming constructs that are available in this sample class. Till now, as an end user, we can observe that within this class, we have only main method is available. Apart from the main method, nothing is here. But by default, without mentioning any constructor, for each and every class, one default constructor will be available in this format, like sample. One default constructor will be there. Here I did not provide the access modifier at front of the sample. That means by default, for each and every class member, the accessibility specificity is default. That we need not to mention explicitly. Simply we can likewise, one default access specifier keyword is available with the at front of the constructor name, that we need not to mention explicitly. So now virtually for each and every class, without having the constructor means this default constructor code will be available as per the class name sample, that the sample default constructor will be available. Now let me try to remove it. Nothing is there in this class. As an end user, we are thinking that within this class we have only main method is available, but that is wrong perception. Within this class we have one default constructor is also available. Now how to check it means, first we need to compile this class. Try to compile it. As successfully compiled, there is no problem at all. After successful compilation, we have to use one special command in the Java, that the command name itself is JavaP. JavaP stands for Java print. So what is the print statement means? What is the output that you want to print from this JavaP command? It is a disassemble command. We can call it as a disassemble command, which is used to print the content with respect to the Java class that we are providing. Now I am going to provide sample.class file as a input for this JavaP command. JavaP stands for Java print. The print content is with respect to the sample.class file. It is a disassemble command. It is a disassemble command which is available in the Java tools. Now I am using this command in order to check what are the elements that are available in the sample.class file. Whenever we are going to execute this command, you will get the complete information about that sample.java file. Here if you are going to observe, the class name itself is sample.java, and here the class syntax, the class name is sample. Within the sample, if you are going to observe, here we are having the class name, it is a constructor. Actually within our class there is no constructor at all, but here within the class, constructor is also one of the member. That means if your class is not at all having any constructor, means one default constructor will be available within that class. That is proving here. So sample is the default constructor that is available. Along with the sample default constructor, we have another main function is there, the public static void main. This is the main function which is available in the class. Not only these things, if you are going to provide some elements like int a equal to 10, int b equal to 20, as well as if you are going to take one user defined method void m1. So if you are going to observe within this class, your perception is we have two variables are there which are class level variables. That too, those variables are non-static variables, instance variables. If you are not at all having the clarity about instance variables, please go through my previous videos. You will get the complete clarity about instance variables. Within this class, we have two instance variables are available. Along with them, we have one instance method is there, as well as one main method is also there. That means totally we have four programming constructs are there in the sample class. One is main method, second one is user defined method m1, and we have two variables. So that is our perception, but virtually within this class by default one default constructor is also available. How can you see it? So very simple. First we have to compile this class. Let me try to compile javac space sample.java. Yes, successfully compiled. After successful compilation, we have to execute java p, print the content from this sample.class file. So you will get along with that four constructs, along with that a, b variables and m1 method as well as main method, you will get the default constructor also. Try to check it now. Now sample.class, sample.java is the file name, and within that the class name is sample. Within the sample class we have two variables are there. One default constructor is available, as well as one user defined method m1 is there. Along with the user defined method, we have main method is also available. Very simple. If there is no constructor is available within your class, means there is a default constructor with the class name that is available within the class. That point you have to keep in your mind. In interviews, it is one of the most important interview question. Okay, with this you got the complete clarity about for each and every class we have one default constructor is available. Even though we are mentioning it explicitly, it will be available within the class itself. Now let me try to define one constructor. I want to mention the constructor explicitly. Now what is the syntax that we need to follow in order to define the constructor? All of you please observe in the document. Very simple. Access modifier, that too we have to use four access modifiers only. That the four access modifiers are private, protected, public and default. That all the content we will discuss within the upcoming videos. Now itself I don't want to discuss the access modifiers related content. Now we can use any one of the access modifier, access specifier in order to control the scope of the object creation. So now the syntax is access modifier along with the constructor name. And at the time of using the constructor name, we have to mention the class name as a constructor name. That is the thing that we have to keep in our mind. Now let me try to take the constructor. Now if you want to make that constructor as public, means very simple. Public, the constructor name itself is as like as class name sample. Like that we need to take the constructor. So this is the constructor that we are taking here. In this class explicitly we are having one constructor is there in the class. Now whenever we are going to take one constructor, let me try to print one simple statement in this constructor. System.out.println. This is sample class constructor. This is sample class constructor. Now we have to check whether the constructor is coming into the picture without invocation or without creating the object or not. So now let me try to create the object. Within this class we have one constructor is there, as well as one main method is also there. If you want to check it, very simple, try to compile this program javac sample.java and try to check what are the elements that are available. We have one sample class constructor is there. Here we are explicitly mentioning it. That's why So instead of default scope, we are getting public scope. Why? Because explicitly we are mentioning that the constructor scope is public. It will be visible to the entire packages which are available in the Java. Irrespective of the packages, this will be visible to. There is no restriction at all. At anywhere we can access it. Along with that public sample, we have one main method is also there. Very important. Now whenever we are trying to compile and run this program, are you going to get any output? No, we are not at all getting any output from this sample class. Why? What is the reason? Why? Because nothing is there in the main method. Why? Because till now the JVM entry point is from main method. Why? Because there is no static block is there in the class. If the static block is there along with the combination of main method, means JVM priority, the preference will be given to the static block. Static block will be executed first. After that, main method will be coming into the picture. But fortunately, there is no static block related content which is available in this class. That means the JVM entry point is from main method. Now within the main method, nothing is there. Due to that reason only, we are not at all getting any output in this example. Now, as per our discussion, the constructor will be coming into the picture. When it is going to coming into the picture, whenever we are going to create the object of the class, at that time it will be coming into the picture. So at the time of creating the object of the class with the help of new keyword, at that time one constructor will be called. So whatever the constructor that we are going to call, there are different types of constructors are there. We will discuss that all the things in the upcoming next video. Don't worry about it. Without calling, without creating the object of the class, that constructor will be not at all coming into the picture. Now try to create the object of the class. So let me try to create the object of the class. How to create the object of the class? Sample s equal to new sample. So here if you are going to observe, while at the time of creating the object, I will tell you the complete meaning about this object creation statement. So here for the sample class, we are taking one reference variable. What is the reference variable that we are taking? S. Within this reference variable, with the help of new keyword, we are creating the object of the class, and at the time of creating the object of the class, we are calling default constructor of the class. The default constructor of the class, here the constructor name itself is sample. Then at the time of creation of the object, this default constructor will be coming into the picture. It will check, JVM will check, is there any default constructor that is available in the class or not? Yes, we have one default constructor with the name, class name sample. Due to that reason only, it will be coming into the picture. This meaning sample with open brace, closed brace indication is, so it is invoking this default constructor, and whatever the content that is available in this default constructor, that will be coming into the picture now. That means while at the time of creation of the object of the class, that respective constructor will be coming into the picture. Why? Because we are calling that respective constructor. We are calling sample class constructor. Due to that reason only, now sample class constructor related content will be executed. Try to check it now. So let me try to recompile the same program. I just want to compile it. Javac sample.java and try to run it. Yes, at the time of running this program, we are getting the output. This is a sample class constructor. Why? Because the default constructor is coming into the picture. Here I have deleted the sample class constructor, default constructor related code. That means within this class we have only main method is available, and we are creating the object of the class. So without having default constructor, the JVM itself is assuming that one default constructor is available, which is in the format of sample, and the block of the constructor is empty. The reason is there is no content is available in that particular constructor. It is a empty default constructor. JVM itself is assuming that one default constructor is available within this class. Now let me try to remove it. We need not to mention it explicitly. Now within this class, there is no default constructor. There is no explicit default constructor is there, and within that nothing is there. I did not print anything. In the previous example, we have mentioned one default constructor, as well as within the default constructor we have the print statement is also available. Now I have removed it. What will happen? Let me try to compile the code and run it. Javac sample.java, Java sample. Nothing will be printed here. The reason is there is no explicit default constructor, as well as we did not mention anything within that default constructor. And here one thing you have to remember, even though the default constructor is not available, no constructor is available within this class, the JVM itself is assuming that one default constructor will be available. Like at the time of creating the object, this sample class constructor, JVM will check is there any sample default constructor is available within this class or not. No, from this entire class context, we are not at all having default constructor. At that time, JVM itself is assuming that there will be one empty default constructor will be available in this format. In this empty default constructor, nothing will be there. Due to that reason only, we are not at all getting any output from this example. Here, if you are if you want to understand this statement, at the time of creating the object, the JVM itself assuming that it will create one virtual default constructor if your class is not at all having any default constructor. Now here it is a virtual default constructor, and within this default constructor nothing will be available due to that reason only, while at the time of creating the object of the class we are not at all getting any output. Now let me try to compile this program and try to run it. As like previous output, we are going to get the same result. We are not at all printing anything from that class. The reason is there is a virtual default constructor is available. Actually, I mentioned it as a explicit constructor, but we should not consider it as explicit constructor. Let us assume it is a virtual default constructor which was created by the JVM. Now let me try to remove. So with this, so we have the complete idea related to, while at the time of creating the object only, the constructor will be coming into the picture. Very good. Now coming to the next points in the constructor rules. So we should not use the keywords like, we should not use the access modifiers like abstract, static, final and synchronizer. Let me try to use any one of the keyword. So for example, I want to define one default constructor sample with the same class name. Within that I want to print system.out.println welcome. One simple message is there, and here it is a explicit default constructor, while at the time of creating the object definitely it will be invoked, and whatever the content that is available that will be printed. You will get the welcome message from here. There is no doubt at all. But the thing is, if I'm going to use abstract keyword, what will happen? We should not allow abstract keyword within the constructor definition. Let me try to check it. Is it possible to define the abstract keyword? No. What is the message that we are getting? We are getting error message, modifier abstract not allowed here. We should not use abstract keyword while at the time of defining the constructor of the class. Okay. Is it possible to define static keyword? Static is also one more access modifier. It is also one of the modifier. It is not access modifier. It is also one of the modifier. Abstract is also one of the modifier. Is it possible to use the static modifier within the constructor definition? No. Modifier static is also, we should not allow it here. Likewise, the remaining keywords like final modifier, synchronizer, these are all the things we should not use. Abstract, static, final and synchronizer keywords, we should not use them with respect to the constructor. Then what we can use? We can use the access modifiers like private, protected, public, default. Here the default accessibility is default, that's why we need not to mention it explicitly. So instead of default we can make it as public, there is no problem. If you are going to make it as public, there is no problem at all. Java C sample.java, Java sample, welcome we are getting. If you want to make it as protected, there is no problem at all. We can use public, protected as well as default. Sorry, wait for a moment. Welcome, we are getting the output welcome. We can use protected, otherwise we can use private also, but it is playing very crucial role. We will discuss this concept while at the time of access modifiers, don't worry. Java C sample.java, Java sample, welcome. And without mentioning any access modifier means it is a default access modifier. We need not to mention it explicitly. If you're now, the output that we are going to get is simply that default constructor will be coming into the picture, that related message welcome will be printing here. So with this I'm going to wind up the session. In this class we have gone through what is the constructor, what is the definition, and how to create it, what is the syntactic rule that we have to follow, and with respect to the constructor what are the rules that are available in the constructors. So with this I'm going to wind up the session. Thank you, Ananda.